So there I am, standing in the middle of a crowded bus, red in the face, holding my backpack like a shield while some random ticket inspector is yelling at me to get off the bus. People are staring. Some look sympathetic, others just annoyed. And me? I'm trying to explain, really trying, that I did try to buy a ticket, but the bus driver basically told me to screw off. But the inspector doesn't care. Rules are rules. I get kicked off the bus like some kind of fare-dodging criminal. I was 30 minutes late to work that day. But that's not the part you'll remember. What you're gonna remember is what I did the next morning. Before we dive in, if you've ever been blamed for something that wasn't your fault, or had someone treat you like trash for no good reason, hit that like button, because you're gonna feel this one in your soul. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever gotten revenge in a small but perfect way. You might just end up in the next story. Now, let me take you back a few weeks, because this petty little tale starts with my car breaking down and me learning that public transportation isn't always the public service it's cracked up to be. It all started on a rainy Monday. You know the type: gray skies, wet jeans, and a slow drip down the back of your neck because your hoodie just barely misses covering everything. My car had been acting up for a while, but that morning, it just gave up. Dead. Wouldn't even turn over. So, I dropped it off at my mechanic with a sigh and a "just my luck" shrug, and mentally braced myself for a week of commuting the hard way. Public transport. It's cheaper, sure, but slower, and, let's be honest, rarely smooth sailing. Still, I figured, how bad could it be? That first morning, I walked to the bus stop early. I was determined to be on time despite everything. When the bus pulled up, I hopped on, reached into my wallet, and handed the driver a €10 bill. "Hey, can I get 5 tickets, please? They're 0.80 each, right?" I said it nicely. Politely. Like any normal, reasonable person trying to plan ahead and save time. But the driver? This man looked at me like I'd slapped his grandmother. He scowled, opened his little cash bag, saw he only had 1 ticket in there, and immediately started cussing me out. Loudly. In front of everyone. "What kind of idiot pays with a big bill for a cheap ticket?" he barked. I blinked. "Sir, you people come in here expecting change like I'm a Fing ATM," he went on. People were staring. I felt like a kid being scolded by a teacher, except I hadn't done anything wrong. I was just trying to pay. He finally waved me in, annoyed, and told me to sit down without a ticket. I figured, okay, awkward, but at least I'm getting to work. For stops in, we hit a red light, and that's when the inspector climbed aboard. Now, you ever get that feeling in your gut when you just know something's about to go sideways? Yeah. That. He walks up to me, asks for my ticket, and I start explaining the whole thing, how I tried to buy one, how the driver didn't have tickets or change, how he told me to just get on. But the inspector? Stone face. Zero sympathy. He didn't care. "No valid ticket, off the bus," he snapped. I was stunned. "Are you serious?" I literally tried, but it didn't matter. He made me get off at the next stop, like I was some deadbeat trying to cheat the system. And just like that, I was standing in the rain again, late for work, humiliated, and furious. Now, here's the thing. I'm not someone who seeks revenge. Usually. But this wasn't about revenge, really. It was about respect. About dignity. I went out of my way to follow the rules, and I got punished for it. And the guy who treated me like garbage? He just kept driving like nothing happened. That didn't sit right with me. So I made a plan. I had a full week to stew on it while my car was in the shop. And every day, as I passed that same bus route, I remembered that smirk, that sneer, the way he tossed his hand like I was inconveniencing him for daring to pay for public transportation. With money. Legal money. And that's when the light bulb went off. I spent a couple of evenings after work visiting local shops. Bakeries, corner stores, anywhere with a change jar. "Hey, could you break this €5 bill into coins?" I'd ask sweetly. Just small ones, if possible. Most people were happy to help, especially when I bought something cheap like a pack of gum or a soda. By Friday, I had a beautiful little stash of coins, ones, twos, even some fives. All clean. All shiny. All legal tender. Monday morning rolled around, and I was ready. That same dreary weather greeted me, but this time, I welcomed it. I had my little coin purse in my jacket pocket, and as soon as I saw the familiar orange and white bus pull up, with the same driver behind the wheel, I felt that grin creeping across my face. I stepped on board like nothing was out of the ordinary. "Good morning," I said, real friendly. "Just one ticket today, please." He looked up, recognized me, and his expression went from neutral to "oh no" real fast. I slowly pulled out a handful of coins and began stacking them on the tiny shelf between us. Clink, clink, clink. .80, all there, I said, smiling. 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent, all legal tender. He stared at the pile like it was radioactive. "I can't take that. That's too many coins," he muttered, already irritated. "Oh, but you can," I said cheerfully. "It's not more than 50 coins, and it's all under the legal limit." I checked twice. I said that last part with a little wink. He groaned, started counting them one by one, clearly regretting his life choices. People behind me were watching, some chuckling quietly, others just shaking their heads. But I stood there, patient as ever, watching him process the mountain of copper and nickel. Finally, he slid the ticket toward me with the enthusiasm of a DMV worker on a Friday afternoon. I took it, walked over to the machine, scanned it extra dramatically, and strolled to my seat with the biggest, smuggiest grin I've worn in years. Sweet, sweet, silent, legal payback. And that was it. No yelling. No confrontation. Just one man forced to count every single coin. Because the same way I got embarrassed on that bus in front of everyone, now it was his turn to sweat in public. I didn't break a rule. I didn't throw a fit. I just played the same game, with my own twist. Petty? Maybe. But oh, did it feel good. Sometimes, the world doesn't hand out justice the way you hope. It will. But every now and then, life gives you the chance to make it right with your own 2 hands, and a fistful of pennies. It's not about being vengeful. It's about standing up for yourself when you're treated like you're nothing. Because no matter how small you feel in the moment, respect is earned, and sometimes, demanded. 1 coin at a time. If you stuck around for this story, you know how satisfying that moment was. So let me know in the comments, what's your favorite petty revenge moment? Hit that like button if you've ever had to get creative with your payback, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that prove karma doesn't forget, it just waits. Until next time, take care, and don't let anyone treat you like spare change.